I believe watching sports is retarded, but when you actually play it, there's so many valuable lessons that come into play that you learn from it. I played 1 year of high school basketball when I was 17 years old, my senior year. And during that year of me playing basketball, I learned so much about myself. I learned so many principles about life that I'm carrying on to my day-to-day life today that I'm using to allow me to become better. Hopefully, maybe some of you guys, have played sports, you played high school basketball, you might even play D1, whatever it is, and you might be able to relate to this video. And in this video, I'm just going to be breaking down every single valuable lesson that I learned that I wish I knew before I started playing. And now, what I'm doing in my life is I'm avoiding every single one of those insane mistakes that I made. Guys, it's raining so much right now. I'm in my backyard. I just wanted to switch up the scenery today. Usually I'm in my whip, but now I'm like, fuck it. We need some green. We need to be outside. It's raining. I'm in Hurricane Katrina right now. But that's the best thing about life, that we get to get rained on. We get to go through hurricanes, because think about if there wasn't any rain. But here's the thing about me. I always try to find a lesson in every single thing. That's what I'm always going to do. But I'm basically going to break down my whole story with basketball, right? I've been playing basketball since I was 7 years old. My dad put me in this league, right? We're in the league, me and my brother. Oh, shit. We're in this league. We won the championship a few times. Wait, let me pick this up. We won the championship. We were good, right? But at the same time, I was always disconnected from my teammates because culturally, right? Cultural differences, we're just always disconnected. I was never really close with any of my teammates that I played with. I was cool with a lot of them. Don't get me wrong, I was cool, but we were never extremely close. This was, whatever. I'm in fucking elementary school, 7, 8 years old. And then after that, I actually played for my middle school. My 8th grade year, I tried out for the team. 6th and 7th grade, I tried out, didn't make it. 8th grade, I made the team. I got better. I remember I had a gym class 8th grade. I would literally shit on everyone. I would hit threes every single shot I would make it. 8th grade, I was actually insane at basketball. I don't even know why. Wouldn't really practice that much. I was just insane in gym class. I don't know if you guys could relate to me on that. But yeah, boom, 8th grade I played. Freshman year, COVID, whatever it is, boom. Senior year, right? I tried out my sophomore year. I didn't make it. My junior year, I don't even think I tried out. Then my senior year came around and I didn't think I was going to try out. I told everybody, nah, I'm not going to try out. But then a couple weeks before the tryouts, I was thinking to myself and I was like, bro, it's my senior year. It's my last year of high school. I'm the best player in this school. I genuinely always believed that I was the best. I always believed I was the best. I'm like, bro, I'm the best player. Why not just give it a shot? Why not try? And I would play in LA Fitness literally 3 to 4 times a week. My senior year, my junior year, I would literally play basketball in LA Fitness 3 to 4 times a week. I would hoop, then work out, or I'd work out first, then I would hoop, whatever it was. I always made time to work out and I always made time to hoop because I loved hooping so much and I just loved it. And that was my main form of cardio. I never, would run on the treadmill. I would never walk outside, but I would play basketball. I would compete at a high level. I would work on my game. I would get better than everybody. Me and my brother would 1v1 24/7, seeing who could beat the other person. There were plenty of times I won, but if I'm gonna be honest, he was better than me. My brother was always better than me at basketball, and I'm not gonna lie about that. I've always been short. You know what I mean? And that's the one thing about basketball: height plays to your advantage. And but I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm just pointing out the reality. Boom, we play at LA Fitness every single week, every single day. And then I'm like, fuck it, why not? Might as well try out. Might as well see how far I can make it with this. To make it to the tryouts, the first couple of days of tryouts, I wasn't feeling good. Like, I wasn't playing good. I honestly didn't think I was going to make the team. Surprisingly, right? The tryouts lasted a while. I think they lasted around a week, 2 weeks. Surprisingly, the coach picked me. I think the reason why she picked me, and my coach was a woman, by the way. I think the reason why she picked me because there was this one day we were doing scrimmages and my energy was insane. My confidence during this one scrimmage was insane. I was like the ball handler, my defense, doing everything. I was fucking doing everything. And then she picked me. And then I made it on the team, right? And boom, I make it on the team. We're practicing. We have our first couple of games. We fucking lose. We go into the locker room screaming. Our coach is screaming. Everyone is mad as fuck. But me, I'm going to be honest, I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care at all. The reason why I didn't care was because I wasn't involved. Because She didn't put me in because I was shit. She didn't put me in because in the practice I would play like shit. So of course she's not gonna put me into the games. Bro, and then she would put me in the last 20 seconds, bro. Like, at that point, don't even put me in. If you're gonna put me in the last 30 seconds of the game, at that point, don't even fucking put me in. I actually felt gay whenever that would happen. And it's like, bro, I felt like, you know the picture of that one Lamborghini that's in a shed with a bunch of dust on it, and all the potential of that Lamborghini is going to waste it? That's exactly how I felt. I felt like all my potential was going to waste it, but why was it going to waste? Because I let the fact that my coach wasn't putting me in, I let the fact that I would miss a shot in practice, the fact that my teammates didn't like me or whatever it was, I let that affect me. I let that affect the work I was putting in. I let that affect how good I was playing. I let that affect every single aspect to how I would play basketball. In turn, I started playing like shit. I started having no confidence, and I started to not give a fuck. We would lose, I wouldn't give a fuck. We went 1-16. We won one game, and that was the senior night. That was my best performance ever. I had 6 points and 2 assists. That was my best game. I remember that game, I was talking shit to the opponent, the other guy who wanted to fight me, because I kept talking shit to him, right? Because he was scared of the ball, and I'm like, bro, why are you scared? Why are you playing scary? They were shit. I'm not gonna lie, yo. For that school to lose to us, that had to be shit. And I was talking a little bit of shit, right? But I'm just pointing out the reality, but he was getting mad at me because I was telling him the truth. And it's like, that's how you get in people's heads, when you just tell them the truth. But my goal wasn't to make him mad, but my goal was to gain a competitive edge on him by getting inside of his head, right? By emotionally getting inside of his head. And I know that kind of sounds crazy, but everyone does it. Every high-level competitor, right? When they're playing in a game of basketball, they're going to talk shit. They're going to talk shit. Was my goal to fight him? No. He's the one who wanted to fight me. I didn't really care about him at all, but I was giving him buckets. I stole the ball twice from him. Twice, because he couldn't dribble. And I got the bucket. You know how I felt after scoring, bro? I felt like I was the GOAT after scoring a layup. That's so fucking stupid. But boom, right? And here's the thing. I felt like quitting countless times. There were days where I would literally write the text out to my coach. Look, I'm about to quit. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for everything, but I didn't do it. But the reason why I didn't do it was because I felt like if I quit on my team, even though I wasn't even close to anybody on the team, like I said before, I was cool with them. I was cool with a few of them, but I wasn't really close with any of them. But the fact that I just internally, I couldn't let down my team. I couldn't let down my teammates, even though I wasn't even playing. Even though I wasn't even in the games. I was just on the bench. But it's like, bro, having people on your team that are quitting on you, quitting on your team, quitting on your goals, quitting on your vision, even if they're not directly in the game, it's still going to affect the team. It's still, to a certain degree, going to affect the team. And I knew that I could have been doing more, but the reason why I wasn't doing more was because I let the fact that I wasn't seeing the results limit me. So when the coach wasn't putting me in the game, I would just stop practicing. I would stop working on my game. I would just stop doing everything. I was so committed to becoming better at playing basketball that I literally stopped working out because it would fuck up my shot. It would fuck up my jump shot. So I stopped working out, and working out was the only thing that I had. It was the only thing that I was building. It was the only thing that I had going for myself. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm gonna stop this so I can work on my game and work on becoming a better basketball player. And it's like, yeah, I stopped working out, and I was working on my dribble moves, on my shot. I was working on becoming better, but none of that mattered because in the game, when it actually did matter, in the game when it came time for me to showcase everything, I choked. I choked under pressure. I choked under pressure because everyone else was bigger than me. Everyone else had way more experience than me because that was my first year of playing high-level basketball, like truly high-level basketball. And I let the fact that other people were ahead of me, other people were bigger than me, and I let that intimidate me, and that's where I went wrong. But regardless of all that, the biggest lesson that I learned is that I genuinely know my potential, and I know I could have been so much better, and I let my potential go to waste because of my fear of failure and my fear of not being the best at something when I first started, because I was so scared of missing a shot. I was so scared of of I was so scared of losing my dribble. I was so scared of I was gonna mess up that just made me mess up way more. That made me miss the shot way more because I was so afraid of it. You know, more times often than not, when we're afraid of something so much and that's all we're thinking about, what do you think is gonna happen? If you're afraid of losing a girl, what do you think is gonna happen? You're gonna lose that girl. You're gonna lose her. And now, right? I'm not 20. I'm 19 years old. I feel like I'm 25. I feel like I'm way older. But I'm 19 years old, and the biggest lesson that I learned from playing high school basketball is I'm never gonna let my potential go to waste. I'm never going to get discouraged just because I'm not automatically good at something when I first start. You think it wasn't scary when I first posted content? You think it wasn't scary when I started documenting my journey? You think it wasn't scary when I told everyone all the goals that I have in mind? The most outrageous goals, the most goals that people wouldn't even think are possible. I told everyone that I'm going to achieve it. And do you really think that wasn't scary? But now the fact that I put it out there, I have to do it. I have to. I have no other choice. I can't just slow down. I can't just give up because there's people that are watching. There's people that rely on me being their source of inspiration and motivation. There's genuinely, bro, even you guys watching, there's somebody who looks up to you. There's somebody who sees you as an inspiration. So how selfish would it be if you just gave up today and you didn't even put in an effort at all to become a better person so that you can inspire them to become a better person so that they can inspire others? How selfish would that be? How selfish would it be for you to spend your whole entire day, all of your energy towards watching porn and beating your meat and things that are destroying you? Why do you think all those things are free? It's because they destroy your soul, right? And why did I say that watching sports is retarded? Because the truth is, it is retarded. Because when you're watching it, you're watching other people live the life that you truly want. Because when I used to watch the NBA, I only watched it because I genuinely wanted to be there. And there was a point in my life where I'm like, bro, I want to be in the NBA. I want to be so good at basketball that other people pay money to watch me play. That was one of my dreams. And that's when I would watch basketball. But now I don't watch it anymore, because I have other dreams that align with other things. So the only things that I consume align with my goals, and they align with my vision and my dreams and how I'm going to get there. You know, I think that a lot of people who watch sports, they use it as an escape, first of all. And second of all, they see themselves in the players. You know, you might be with your friends or your family or whatever, and they're like, damn, oh, Klay Thompson should have made that three. Oh, I would have made that if I was... Oh, Klay Thompson... Bro, the truth is, he's making it look easier than what it truly is because he's so good at it. He's so good at it. And the truth is, you're fat, you're out of shape, and you would gas out after 5 minutes in the NBA because all you want to do is watch it instead of actually being it, instead of actually grinding, instead of actually doing something, but you want to watch it. 93% of the world are consumers. Only 7% are producers. And the thing about consuming is that it's endless. You're just going to endlessly consume, endlessly just watch sports, endlessly just consume. And you're never going to get fulfillment from that. You're never going to get fulfillment from watching other people live the life you want to live. The only way you're ever going to be fulfilled is if you start working towards that dream life today. At first, yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. At first, yes, you're not going to know what to do. When I first started posting content, it was uncomfortable. I have family talking shit. I have friends talking shit. I have everyone talking shit. Everyone was talking shit. Everyone was calling me corny, cringe, whatever it is. Everyone was shitting on me. Even me, even I thought that shit was cringy. At first, I thought it was corny. At first, I hated the videos I was posting because I wasn't being authentic. But the more I started posting, the more authentic I became, and the more I started realizing, okay, this is who I am. This is what works for me. I'm just going to keep posting this type of content. And I got closer to my highest version of myself. You know, when you first start playing basketball, you're not going to be your highest version of yourself when you first start playing. So why do you expect to know everything the first time you go into the gym? Bro, you're going to suck at it at first. You're not going to have good form. You're not going to know what to do. You're not going to know shit. You're not going to know what to eat when you first start. Unless, obviously, you have a coach. Obviously, when you have a coach, you're going to know everything. But if you're trying to do everything on your own, right? I was trying to become a better basketball player on my own. And look at where that got me. I was shit. If I hired a coach, if I hired somebody that would fucking help me become better, I would have became way better. But the whole point I'm trying to make is that there's two ways, right? There's two ways you can go about your life. The easy way or the hard way. The easy way is from seeking help from other people who have accomplished the things that you want to accomplish and just learning as much as you can from them. And then the hard way is you trying to do everything on your own. And the devil wants you to be by yourself. The devil doesn't want you to rely on God. The devil doesn't want you to rely on others that are going to propel you. He isolates you. Think about it. Every single time you fall into temptation, it's when you're by yourself. Every single time you have those negative thoughts, it's when you're by yourself. Every single time you fall back into that one habit that you constantly kept saying that you were never going to fall back into, it was when you were by yourself. It was when you were alone. It was when nobody was watching. That's when the devil gets to us. That's when we lose, right? I had those doubts in myself about basketball, about how I wasn't good enough, how everyone else was better than me. I'm not playing to my potential, all these things. I had all those doubts in my mind and I let it eat me up. I let it decay me. And it was because I was by myself. You think I was going to talk to my teammates and be like, yo, what should I do about this? Yo, how did you go? Bro, no. I was too prideful back then to ever seek help from everyone else because my ego was in the way. But they say the death of your ego is the beginning of all growth. And now as a fully grown 19-year-old adult, I'm an adult because now I have responsibilities and people depend on me. The biggest thing I've learned is the power of seeking help from people who are going to catapult you towards your goals. And the first time I ever did that in my life was when I fully invested into myself. I invested into my mentor. I invested into somebody who was going to give me the blueprint so that I can get to where I wanted to be in life. And a big part about why I made that decision was because I was afraid of wasting my potential. I was afraid of wasting my greatness. I was afraid of me staying the same because I knew if I never made the decision to go all in, I know for a fact I would still be in the same. I know for a fact I would still be in the same place, addicted to all those vices, trying to fit in with the world, trying to fit in with anybody. And I wouldn't be so consistent with my content. I wouldn't have produced the results that I've produced. I wouldn't have transformed so many lives with Max Out Fitness Coaching. I wouldn't have done any of that. I wouldn't have done any of that if I didn't go all in. A lot of people underestimate what they can accomplish when they go 100% all in their goals. And please, learn the lesson that I learned. Do not let your potential go to waste. Do not quit something just because you're bad at it in the moment. Because the results that you have now aren't what matter. What matters is the trajectory that you're on. Stop trying to fit in with everyone. Because the truth is, if you're different, if you're the top 10%, you're not gonna fit in. Everyone's gonna think you're weird. You're gonna think you're out of place. I think I'm out of place constantly in a lot of places that I'm at. But that's my subconscious mind telling myself that I'm meant for more and I'm meant for greater. And I'm so glad that I went through those massive failures when I was playing basketball for my high school. And I was so massively uncomfortable. I hated going to practice every day. I hated it. I fucking absolutely hated it, bro. I didn't enjoy going to practice. I didn't enjoy any of it. The games, I didn't even enjoy it either because I'm just watching on the sidelines. And I knew that I couldn't keep sitting on the sidelines. I couldn't keep watching other people live the life that I want to live. I had to make a decision. I had to be like, bro, it's enough of me watching other people live the life that I want, and I have to go all in, and I have to just work towards it myself, and I have to become the inspiration that other people are going to look to. Because when I was in the basketball team on the bench, watching other people play good, watching other people score, watching other people do all those things, I was in a constant state of discomfort and hating myself. I was in a constant state of being like, that should be me. I should be the one that's winning. I should be the one who's successful. I should be the one who's hitting threes left and right and just constantly winning. I should be the one with confidence. Why the fuck am I sitting here on the bench insecure next to this kid that is fucking doubting himself. Bro, I'm sitting next to this guy on the bench and he's like, oh my fucking gosh, bro, like a negative ass dude, bro. It's like, I knew I was out of place. I knew I shouldn't surround myself with negative people. But here I am on the bench next to somebody who's super negative. And I hated it. I hated the situation I was in. And I'm like, bro, I can't do this in any other area of my life. I let it happen with basketball, but I'm never going to make the same mistake again. I'm never going to just keep watching on the sidelines. I'm going to make the decision to go all in. I'm going to make the decision to not stay the same. And all it takes is one decision, one choice, one action, one day. That's going to transform the trajectory of your whole entire life. People underestimate, bro. People underestimate what it truly looks like to put 100% of your effort into your goals. And it's the same thing with getting in shape. It's the same thing if you want to become financially successful. It's the same thing if you want to elevate your relationship with God. All these principles, they're all applicable to every single area of your life that you want to improve. They're all applicable. Because it's not about what you have, it's about who you are. It doesn't matter if you have money. It doesn't matter if you have a girlfriend. It doesn't matter about whatever you think you have that's valuable. What matters is who you are deep down. Are you somebody that you have self-respect for yourself? Are you proud of yourself? Have you made accomplishments? Doesn't matter what effort you put in. If there's zero accomplishments behind it, it's essentially pointless. There has to be accomplishments behind it. And I'm not saying the accomplishments have to be immediate, but they have to come eventually. And at the end of the day, these goals are meant, and these goals, right? These worldly goals, for example, winning a championship, getting a nice car that you want, or getting a six-pack, getting a physique. All these goals are materialistic, but you should set these goals not because you want the materialistic things about them, but because you want to become the person who earned it and deserved it. And that version of you who accomplished that goal is a completely different person to who you are today. So it's going to motivate you to become that person now and to make a change and literally just to improve. And that's why I said it's about who you are, not about what you have. It doesn't matter if you have a championship trophy, if you were the person on the bench watching everyone else and you just got you just got the credit for being on the team. Is that gonna make you feel fulfilled? No. It's like, bro, not Tony Parker. Like Manu Ginobili. Oh, no, not him. That's not a good name. Brian Scalabrine has like 3 rings, right? But does anybody ever consider him as a GOAT just because he has 3 rings? No. Nobody cares about him because he was a shit player. So it doesn't matter how many rings you have. It doesn't matter what results you have. It matters about who you are. And if you are somebody who's impressive, then people are going to acknowledge your accomplishments and they're going to be like, damn, this guy's impressive. Damn, this guy's him. Andrew Iguodala has like 3 rings. Are people going to call him the GOAT because he has 3 rings? No. But basically, you guys get what I'm trying to say. Please avoid the mistakes I made. And if any of you guys are playing sports or doing anything, you need to understand, sports teaches you a lot of valuable lessons about life. But if you're still fat, if you're still broke, and if you still have a shit relationship with God, I'm sorry for cursing, but if you don't have a good relationship with God, you need to elevate these things first, and then you can do these things for fun. Unless if you're doing it for cardio. If you're doing it for cardio, that makes sense. But still, never lose sight of the things that you truly matter. Never lose sight of what you truly need to be doing. And ask yourself, what goals do I have in mind? What do I want to accomplish? Because if you don't even know what goals you have or what you want to accomplish, how do you expect to get there? That's like driving a truck with no GPS. You're driving endlessly with no point. And the truth is, we're not going to be here forever. You're not going to live forever. So take advantage of the road and the drive that you have now. Take advantage of the journey that you're on now. Because it's not always going to be here forever. You're not always going to be surrounded by these people that you care about forever. So be a better person for them today. And avoid the same mistakes that I made in the past. The same way that I'm changing it now. And I'm 19, right? I'm still young. And I'm already getting rid of these bad habits. You know, a lot of people wait till they're way older to get rid of them, but you're limiting yourself because the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be down the line. But the last thing I want to say to you guys is I love all of you. Thank you for watching the video. The rain's okay going down right now, but one thing I want to say is if any of you guys are not in the physical and mental shape that you truly are meant to be in, go ahead and book a call with me down below and I can break down step by step. Well, first of all, right, We're gonna see if you qualify for my program for what we do at Max Out Fitness Coaching. And basically what we do is that we guarantee that you're gonna see 3 years of gym progress. 3 years of gym progress within 3 to 4 months, depending on how much work you're willing to put in. But as long as you execute on a daily basis on the systems that we've built in place from trial and error, and my personal experience as well as my team's personal experience on what works in order for building muscle and shredding fat as optimally and as quickly as possible. And if that sounds like something that you're genuinely interested in, just book a call with me down below. We're going to see if you qualify to see if you're a good fit for my program, because we only work with a specific type of person. And if you do qualify, we're basically going to break down step by step how we're going to help you get there. But I'm looking forward to speaking with many of you. And I just hope you guys learned something valuable from this video. I love all of you. Let's get it. Peace out.